Hit it. Share my screen. Give me 1 second. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. So tonight I was asked to go ahead and bring up or talk about our, our Shop Financial Division, which is a division that basically is responsible for our financial product because we are a product brokerage. We have the opportunity to offer a product to our distributors that can help clients or customers get out of debt in a half or third the time. My background, I am actually a financial professional for the last decade, licensed in the state of Texas, dealing with retirement planning and just working with customers and their finance. And so for me, as an unfranchised owner, this was a no-brainer product for me to go ahead and utilize with my traditional clientele. Um, it actually gave me an opportunity to be a little bit, step ahead of my competitors out there because they don't have this product if they're not an unfranchised owner to be able to help their clients, be more financially savvy. And so with that being said, after, I think my second year as an franchise owner, when I saw this product, I went ahead and looked into it and saw how innovative it was because not only are our health products innovative as well, but this particular product in the regards to finance is also in that same realm, which is why we brokered the deal with the company to be able to have access to this product. And so with that being said, I'm glad you guys will be able to come on tonight, Southern region. Again, a lot of people may not have an agent maybe close to them. A lot of our agents or reps actually tend to helm from the Northeast region. Um, it just seems to be more of one of those things where it's just more, I guess, out there in that area, in that region. But also to let you know, this product is available in Canada and the US. So we do have some representatives in Canada as well, if you know anybody out that way. Um, but typically, one of the things that we talk about if you are going to be behind this product and push and letting your, friends and family or anybody know about this, our mission, and that's just to show people how to stop overpaying interest on their debt to have a better quality of life now and in retirement. We talk about the gig economy and how people need multiple streams of income, but it's not just about having multiple streams, but it's also about how you manage your finances as well. Because anybody can get a lottery check, but what happens to those people that win the lottery? Probably in about 6 months, they're broke again, right? So we know that it's not about having the multiple streams of income or the amount massive income. It's about how do you manage it. Well, having a product that helps you actually make the decisions on how to make payments, to pay off your debts, to pay your expenses, really goes a long way, especially when we think about AI and how it's doing things, in our society now. Imagine having a AI financial system that's showing you how to make your payments in a better way that's more based on math and not emotion. So, with that being said, the reason why it's a big um, opportunity for us to be able to allow people to have this product is because we all have life goals typically, especially coming up as kids. You have a goal of wanting to own a home or get married or even go to college. Well, those have a dollar sign attached to them, and below you'll see the average amount on what that costs typically for you to be able to, hit those goals in your lifetime. But one of the things I've noticed with my actual, true ability to be able to talk to people is a lot of people want to hit these goals, but when they actually obtain them, being able to maintain those goals is where the harsh reality kicks in. And so that's again why I feel like I'm very blessed to be in a position to have a product that I can offer this solution to people in that situation. And so how financial reality kind of looks. Typically you'll see here college years, you're looking at, the total debt in the dark blue and then the principal amount. Well, again, around $10,000. You're coming out of college, potentially more than that now. It's increased, but then in 5 years, you see how that debt can increase from having going to college, getting a home, and then obviously, looking at marriage and maybe even kids by 20, year 20, how you've just went way past the amount that you actually thought you would actually see. That's when people tend to get, you know, um, those years where they realize, okay, I have more debt than I have income. And that's when you see the people that are in a position of where they're kind of like just staying afloat. And that's, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I have to go get another job or extra hours or whatever, this and that. And that's when you start seeing that time frame. So in reality, this is how life takes shape for a lot of people. And our golden years for some people that retire are not golden a lot of times, especially you see people that are going back into the workforce at 65 or after 65, which is what I kind of end up, working with people in that situation. And so our expense cycle, how our life looks full circle. Obviously, when it comes to you making payments and things like this, you got to consider that because with our program, it's going to consider how you're spending your money. What are you spending on? Like transportation, medical bills, rent, mortgage, food, groceries and things like that. So this, again, full circle is the reason why a lot of people are coming to us and saying, hey, we need help. Because a lot of people, if you can create a budget to keep costs down, helps you paying down the debt, but keeping up with the juggling act is a never-ending cycle, which can be very overwhelming. And for the most part, um, one thing that I love about this company is the ability to be able to work with so many people that's in the wellness division when it comes to health. And what I've realized now by working closely with them is that a lot of time, the stress factor that we talk about when it comes to our health is not always contributed just to, a natural cause. Majority of that, based on the financial health institution, is because of your finances. So I look at this as an opportunity to offer financial wellness, because financial stress is a condition that's the result of financial or economic events that create anxiety, create worry, even sense of scarcity, and accompanied by psychological stress. So it physically can really hurt you, in a sense. So if you don't have your finances in order, these are the things that lead up to a lot of the stress related causes that you have. And so typically as financial stress increases, a person's state of financial health decreases, creating a damaging effect on their physical health and as well. And so these are just some things that, again, when it comes to who are we looking to help with this particular product, is the reason why it's so important when we're looking to help people. Because when you're having those conversations, you can kind of see that. And so this is how we wish we can juggle our debt. This is like a little example that I show people. This is all the mortgages, the house, the car payments, all those things. But a lot of times we really don't understand that we're trying to do that, but we're dropping the ball maybe the next month or the month after. And the reason for that is called factorial math. This chart right here shows that out of the number of debts that you have in your household, this is the possible combinations that comes with that the more you add those debts. And so with one debt, one combination. With two combination. That's fine, right? But when it goes to three debts, that's six possible combinations. And the average person has six debts in their home that they're carrying now, and that's 720 different possible combinations. So just imagine you doing the math on a calculator or on a spreadsheet, and you're trying to figure out 720 different ways to pay off six debts. I don't know about you, but that's very time consuming. We've actually had people that's a business partner within the division that has a math degree and tried to do this on their own and couldn't beat the program. So just letting you know, these are the things that you're dealing with when you see that visual of somebody juggling the ball or the pins. That's what we're doing every day, not realizing that these are the possible combinations that we're actually juggling. So it's more like 720 pins that you're throwing in the air. So just to kind of give you a reality check on that. And so who are the people that our program can work and can help? People with mortgage debt. Mortgage balances, shown in the consumer credit reports out of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, 112 billion dollars during the fourth quarter of 2023. And, again, we saw a lot of things happening after 2020 when it came to the pandemic. And so just looking at this now, you can see that, as of 2022, there was a $360 billion aggregate outstanding balances. People were not able to pay those debts to a degree. And so a lot of folks have come into a reality check now that what happened before during the pandemic potentially was not expected. And so now they're trying to figure out how do they change the plan of, being able to get out of that debt. Also, people have medical debt. If you're looking to talk to somebody about what this software can do, that's another group of individuals. Health costs spending totaled 74.1 billion in 1970. Fast forward to 2020, the amount is $4.1 trillion as of the Kaiser Family Foundation. So again, these are the things that are causing that financial stress that we talked about earlier, why people are looking for a better way. And then who else do you know that's in retirement age? Maybe, after the 65. An average retired couple at age 65 in 2022 will need about $315,000 saved up after taxes. If you don't have a 401k with that kind of money sitting up saved, you're in trouble. And even if you do have that money, when you pull it out, if you pull it out, too soon, you still might be taxed on it. So again, and then it may not even beat the inflation cost on that. So these are the things again that give people a chance to say, hey, what is out there that can help me when it comes to my debts and what I'm spending my money on. And so we talk about the options. And they say what's out there. So typically in my field, this is the things that I've been running with in the last, 8 years or so before I found this program that says pay the minimum payment. I know everybody's heard that. Be financially responsible and pay the payment. Well, 60% of people do that. They just put it on auto pay, right? And we have a representative in the division that says auto pay is wealth delay because a lot of people don't realize putting that on auto pay typically can allow you to pay more in interest on your debts, which benefits the banks and not you as a consumer. And so we get into that in a minute. But then refinance or debt consolidation. A lot of companies out there are asking you to do this because they're saying it's a better way to lower your monthly payment. Well, there's some things behind the scenes that they're not telling you. But again, it is something at the end of the day that can probably help you lower that payment. Then what about bi-weekly payments to your mortgage? I ask a lot of people a lot of times, if you have a money tree in your backyard, let me know, please, because I would love to go ahead and, have a couple of dollars here to help out too. But a lot of times people don't have that extra money to make those biweekly payments, Again, unless you're trying to, get that extra gig, job or side hustle or something like that, that's probably what you're looking to do. But my time is very valuable. Make more money again, same thing. Pay extra to the principal. The debt snowball. I know you guys probably heard that if you Dave Ramsey fans, that avalanche. These are all strategies again that are good. There's something it's like doing the push-ups, but not knowing specifically if you're getting the results, but just hoping that you get the results. And we all know what happens when you do that, right? How many people start that New Year's resolution in January, but then they're done by February? That's kind of similar to what we're doing with our finances in that same boat with these different things. So what we say with our program is stop guessing. It's not too late to take a new course with the only financial GPS. With our program, instead of you having to hope that you get across that finish line, it's actually going to hold your hand and tell you how to get across that finish line. To me, again, as I said before, this is so much more insightful in regards to how you deal with making decisions to take care of your finances, because it gives you more of a certainty, more of a surety of how your money is being spent when you make that payment towards a mortgage or that payment towards the car note. And so this is what we normally typically do once we talk to someone about their finances. We need to know what's coming in, what's going out. So your income and your expenses. We don't need socials or account numbers, anything like that. The program just wants to be able to see the numbers that you have coming in and numbers you have going out. And so once that's done, we give out an analysis for free when we're able to put that information into the program. And it tells us, again, the month that this person would pay $1,600 in interest alone, which would 37% of their monthly payment that would be gone. Because, when it comes down to it, we're able to see the mortgage debt, the loans, the credit, and what's going out the interest rate and things like that to be able to get an assessment from the program on how that looks. And so for them spending that money on those mortgage payments and those loans, $1.88 for every dollar they pay down in principal is going to be they're going to spend $1.88 for every dollar that they pay out in their principal. And again, it's just something that we don't think about, but the true cost of your money is what the program allows for you to be able to see when you're making these payments versus the banks making the money off of you as a consumer. Um, so again, a lot of times what I really like is not a matter of using emotion for making any decisions, but actual math. So what is the software telling us at the end of the day? It's how much money to move down to the penny, when to move it, the exact date, from what account to what account. This is the best part, while consistently adjusting to your real world financial situations to help you find the quickest mathematical solution to zero debt. So, not emotion, math. Again, it's one of those things where I feel like a lot of people get stuck in the rut of trying to figure out the calculations, and that's why they get so frustrated. I'm glad we have products for that too, because if you get stressed out, we have something called Bliss that'll really help you out. But with that being said, it really takes that off you, the load off of you, and makes it easy for a lot of our clients. So what's the difference between those other things out there? A lot of the apps, a lot of the spreadsheets that we used to use are outdated. Like I say, you think about AI and the way Chat GPT is changing how everything is. This our financial AI. It's making it to the point to where, like I said before, it's making the decision for you step by step on how to get from point A to point B versus those budgeting apps and things of that. They'll give you a good strategy, but what happens when you get a decrease in income? You get less hours at work. What happens if you lose your job? What happens if a pandemic happens? When that app is used, it cannot adjust for those situations. It has to give you a whole new plan and start over from zero. That's the difference that I try to tell everybody. I call it like bumping your head. Once you get through that first month, you bump your head, it'll say, okay, let's correct it this way next time. Well, with our software, it's not doing that. It's going to tell you how to avoid those bumps in the road versus you actually going through those bumps and then having to restart over. Again, with no major alteration to your current standing of living. One thing that I said about, Dave Ramsey, as good as he is with the fundamentals of finance, he's not, prone to this level of advancement of financing. And so a lot of times I tell people you don't have to worry about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or ramen noodle diets when it comes to this software, because it's going to keep you on the same level playing field of where you are based on your standard way of living. And that's another thing that I love, again, that I'm able to bring to the table for a lot of people with our software. And it directs you to zero debt in the shortest possible time using your existing situation. And so this is a little bit about, how the system or program would look once you actually, get your hands on it and you're able to go ahead and log into it. It's a web-based software. So you just use the username and you log in, and then you're able to get in here and look around. So you have your dashboard that shows you your payoff date, real time. It adjusts every time you make that, a paycheck or whatever you put in there. It'll do all that for you. Also the interest saved real time. It'll show you that, and then your payoff date, and you can adjust this on how you like in regards to what your goals are, as well once you get in. But me as a representative, whenever you have someone that decides to want to take this on as a representative, our job up front is to plot the course for you. So if this is the financial GPS, we need to know where you are at point A before you go to point B. And to have that information would require me to get your income and your expenses. So in this situation, we have a couple, John and Mary. We have their income, as far as what they're making semi-monthly. And then we have their utilities, which you can actually put in as a lump sum if you want to, or you can itemize everything as you want to as well. Looks like they lump summed it at 2,284 for their expenses. And then, you have your accounts, as far as if you have more than one credit card, if you have, multiple cars and things like that, maybe a solar um, loan that you're paying off on, all those things. Me as a representative, I put all that in the system, and then once you get into your program, everything is shown on your screen. And the reason for that is because, again, this is your starting point. Once you start receiving money, once you start paying your bills, then you'll be giving this information after we talk to the program to let it start working for you. And so I want to give like a live demo. I typically do this for you. So this is a person logging into the program and going through it. You get actual releases, new releases for free. If they make any changes or any updates, you get to see that. This individual had 5 years to pay off their debts, and then they were able to go ahead and show us where you can get the live chat, which comes to you as well once you get the program, to be able to talk to support. And in this situation, it shows basically, the budgeting side of things, because you do get the budgeting offer as well, where they have their income coming in. You see, this is the husband and wife, and they have additional income. So I think this person was a realtor that had some rental properties, I think, on the side. And so that showed, that coming in. And then, like I said before, the expenses, how they break it down. This particular person happened to be a business owner as well too. But they have their homeowners insurance broken down, their auto insurance, their umbrella policy. So this is a person that's doing a lot of things in regards to life, and they needed a program like this to help them sort it. So, like I said before, this is a business partner, so they have shop.com income in here. So a lot of us know that as a business owner, when you're able to go ahead and start seeing that overhead of things that are coming out of your bank account, you want to be able to track that and use that. Our debt shredder program is perfect for that. But these are the credit cards, store cards they had coming in. And again, this is just the point A to point B. But once you get in there, you're able to kind of use that to your advantage, with the software telling you how to pay these debts, especially if you have multiple amounts of debt. So this is a testimonial from a few people that have had the program. The best financial decision of my life, because of this software. I was able to cut the term of my 30-year mortgage down to 11 years without making much sacrifices. Software was clear, honest, and the customer service was always courteous and helpful. So one thing I love about that is that we do have that customer service available to you on Pacific Standard Time, 8 to 5, available Monday through Friday. And so once you get in this, you're not alone. Not only me as a representative will be able to help you, but also, again, we have that support, phone support. And then another testimony we had here, we got our time back. This was somebody that was actually in the retirement age, and they started using the software and literally saved $27,000 in 6 months, which makes about $4,395 that they were getting back. And more importantly, they went from 22 and a half years to 7.5 years until they were going to be debt free. What was great about this is they were saying that would have left her and her husband, or her husband at 89 years old and herself at 79 years old, if they would have stayed on the 22.5 route. So now you see how big this is for those individuals that are in that retirement age that can take advantage of using the debt shredder program to help them out, to be free before that, or they can enjoy the golden years, honestly. That's really what it's all about. And this is
So Chad asked me to come on here today.
that I want to highlight, because she gave a live testimonial on one of my last presentations we did, and I just want you to go ahead and take a listen real quick.
In Fort Worth, Texas. So 5 years ago, my husband and I were in debt. We had an analysis run, and I've got data. I'm a geek myself. I love numbers. Had we gone on the path of paying the minimums the rest of our life, we would be out of debt in 20.1 years. After the analysis was ran, our 20.1 years went down to 11.5. And I thought, holy moly, because here I was thinking that we were going to be just in debt the rest of our life. So in the 9 years that we saved from paying the bank, if we did exactly what Chad showed on those graphs, in those 9 years, we could accumulate about $632,000 that we would be putting back in our pocket as opposed to paying it to the bank. So my 9 years, my 11.1 years went down to 6.
Wow.
I actually have it beat. The original time, we're beating it by a year and a half, maybe 2.
Okay.
But now, and that's including, I have a daughter going to college. That
Wow.
includes me adding that to my life.
Wow.
And so it's just it's just an amazing software. And since all of you guys, or mostly all of you, are here from Phoenix, when they talked about you don't have to start eating ramen noodles, I just booked my flight to Flagstaff this morning because in June I'm going whitewater rafting down the Colorado River for 8 days, and I'm trying to get out of debt, get an analysis done,
Yeah.
and it truly is a financial GPS.
And so, just so you guys know, one of the updates that they made, Dead Shredder now is free for 30 days as a trial. Um, that being said, there's no excuse for you to get your numbers ran. Um, that's free, and then again, you get to be able to get in the program and look around and see how it actually works, for 30 days as well. So I definitely want to go ahead and give you guys the next steps. Schedule your free analysis, because one of the biggest things again is clarity for me, letting you guys see what the program can do for you, showing you how or where you are to know where you can go in regards to using the program. And then register to build your shopping annuity. I didn't get into that, but if you have somebody that invited you out tonight, one of the biggest things that I do as a representative is show people how to use our shop.com website to get cash back, to add that money back into the program using their debt shredder to pay off their debts faster as well. And then you can become a referral partner. There's an opportunity there where, if you want to just make a little extra money sharing this information out and letting me close the sale for you, that's a possibility. If you want to scan the QR code, you'll be able to, leave your name and information. I can send you guys out a video on how that looks in regards to the program, pre-recording. You can take a look, listen to that too. But definitely, again, it's one of those things where you want to get a clear path to being debt free, because you want to stop guessing. And my biggest thing for you guys is to making sure, like I said before, that you know that we have a product within the financial space that gives you an opportunity to really make some great decisions in regards to your financial situation. Not only, again, for those who are business owners, but as consumers as well. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And I want to say thank you guys. Um, are there any
All right, we're
questions?
open. Thank you, Chad, very much for coming on board. It makes me want to go get the software, like what you said. So I do have the software. It just makes me want to, how can I apply it? It's a great thing. So we're gonna open the floor right now for you to ask questions, for Chad. So let me unmute yourself if you wish to, or um, or type if you're shy. Either way works. This is your one chance to ask him, okay? I see.
Hey Chad, this is Ani. I've got a quick question. Got a couple of people maybe interested in that shredder as a UFO. So, what's the procedure? Do you just get the that shredder program, or is there a class you have to take, or what do you have to do exactly?
Yeah, so um when it comes to you becoming can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So when it comes to you becoming a representative, you just have to go to your back office to pay for that. And I think it's $100 to get started, and then $70 a year after that. Um and you're able to get access to the back office to where you're able to go ahead and add your, clientele, their name and information, and then start doing analysis for them. And then corporate has Monday calls every second Monday of the month to kind of help those, you go through that process. And then also we have a shop financial 101 and 201 that's hosted by Jessica Starwalk, who's the person I actually work with as well.
Okay, and I think you also have like a Facebook group or something, right?
Yes, there is a Facebook group as well for Shop Financial with corporate. Any other questions?
Hey Chad, Shop Financials 101 and 201, are they recorded or are they
No,
presented live?
yeah, it's a GMTSS event, so it's
Okay,
not
GM,
recorded.
yes, okay, gotcha. And do you know when the next presentation is going to be, when the next class is going to be? Anything that's online?
Yeah, I mean not off top, but I would just go to my back office and take a look in the back office because they post it in the back office whenever they get ready to do a class for whatever division that you're a part of.
Now, as far as timeline goes, from like the time I sign up for to become a rep, all the way until I can get my first sale in, how long would you say that was for you?
Oh, my time. Well, yeah, depending on the educational piece. I got started before COVID, so I had to actually fly out to go to breakouts to be able to get some training. So it took me a little longer for me to get my first sale, probably about, I'd say 18 months or so.
Okay.
Now would be faster because they're doing it digitally. Am I right, Chad?
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Okay. And the presentation that you presented today, is that part of shop.com? Is that kind of like a standard presentation, or was that
No,
something
that's my presentation.
you prepared it yourself? Okay, great.
Yes.
Now, is there some kind of a starter presentation that's
Yes,
available that
there
we can
is.
use?
Yeah, for the general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
I know that Shop Financial on the website that you would recommend for people that are reviewing today's protocol, that if they want to know what are the links or the segment of Shop Financial, that they may can read it, or maybe in the back office. I know the Shop Financial has a website on that.
Well, yeah, like every other site you get with the company, Shop Financial has there as well, shopfinancial.com/ whatever your business name is.
Chad, one more question. I'm sorry. I mean, given your experience, what do you think? Who are the the biggest target audience for a program like this? Like which sector or segment of people? I know you focus more on the like people that are approaching retirement or in their kind of their golden ages. But does it work with any other sector like fresh grads, people that just recently purchased a home, or is there? It all depends.
Yeah, so in the beginning, one of the reasons why it took me so long is because I didn't have a niche that I wanted
Yeah.
to choose. I've gone for everybody because the program can help so many different people, right? Like you just
Okay.
mentioned, college students, doctors that are, surrounding their debt, dentists, people that are, in the dental field, they have like a lot of student loan debt. Again, homeowners, investors that want to actually, buy 10, you can actually put 10 mortgages in the program. So if you're a real estate
Okay.
investor, this is a great program as well. Which is another a target audience I work with as well, and real estate investors. So yeah, it's across the board. I didn't get into it, but consumer, debt wise, like I said, solar panels, things like that. And then even if you want to like budget vacationing and things, I didn't get into that, but you can go in there and you can do that. So it's a little bit for everybody. It's not just paying off debt. Like I said, it's helping you make better financial decisions overall. So anybody that's just want to take the load off of guessing how to make those payments, juggling, robbing Peter to pay Paul, this program is for them. You just figure out who your niche of who you want to target or go after and talk about this too. And then sometimes you might end up having people that refer people to you that may not be who you're targeting, but they know that
Okay.
they can probably help somebody. So it just depends on how you want to approach it.
Chad, Wally, he mentioned about student
Loans,
loans or so. I've heard on one segment that could be applied for Shop Financial, right?
Yeah.
as far as the program helping them get out of debt,
Uh-huh.
or
Uh-huh.
yes, right.
Right. And right. I've been to some session where some of them said that if let's say you're in good standing and you wanted to know if you should purchase something, you can run it by the program and they'll
Yeah,
tell you whether
Yeah,
you
that's the
should
reason
or
why I
you
said
should
get it.
not.
Exactly. That's the reason why I said you get a clearer picture, because when we run the numbers for free for you, it'll let us know if it's the program is a good fit. It'll tell you like this makes financial sense to take on this program based on your financial situation. But we don't know that until we run your numbers. So I'm glad you brought that up, but that's another reason why we don't just advertise and blast this on social media all over the place, because it's
Mhm.
based on that connection, that one-to-one. So if you do decide to take this on and want to actually, get into this business, you have to be willing to sit down and consult with individuals, not just share a link. It's not going to cut it. So
No,
you
I
have to.
actually go ahead.
No, I was going to say you're going to actually have to sit down with them, get their numbers in the system, and then have a conversation.
Mm.
And so my question with you on that is once the purchase is made, once you get them into like once you have their financial situation or future mapped out, once you have the roadmap mapped out for them, what kind of involvement do you still need to have? Do you still have to do like monthly calls, weekly
So
calls, or is
that
it based on needs?
good question. That depends on the representative. Me personally, I've started making like certain things like nurturing emails, text messages to go out. I created a group. So anybody that buys from me, there's actually a community I built so they can go into the community and start helping one another as far as with tips and stuff like that. But
Okay.
again, you don't need to, because they have the customer support. So they have support that can do that. I just wanted to give an extra element as far as my brand, with me,
Gotcha.
and let them know that I'm really trying to look out for them.
Gotcha.
I
Now,
will chime on the customer end because a long time ago, I haven't used a product, but a long time ago when we first purchased it, I believe that we call a service line, and the service line was very patient. This is from my angle as a customer. I've used it for mine, but I haven't used it for many years. But um, they basically walk you through, even guide you and give you the best advice of how you're going to manage your like update the software or how you're going to look at it. So if you're open to it, they will sit down and walk through with you. For me, like Web Center, I always like to go through a Web Center walkthrough before I sell a website. I think, Chad, I don't know if you would agree, at least do a walkthrough on the products yourself if you were to own it. Is that right? Do you feel the same way?
As far as what was that again?
That means to try the product out, join in as a customer, use it, and call in to check the service, how it's like. So you have a personal, what do you call it? A personal idea of how it feels like. In Web Center, basically, when I first started selling website, what I did is I pretend to be a customer. I called in, set up a site, and let the salesperson walk me through, just for a first time experience, so I understand it. So I just
Yeah,
feel that given my
that
web,
that would only apply to that division, not this. You have to actually obtain the program in order for you to be able to experience the support.
wouldn't the agent be able as a user also to use it or no?
No, I can
Oh, I
demo it for
see.
you, let you see a demonstration of it, but I can't
Uh-huh.
actually show you what it would do for you unless you actually buy it yourself as a customer.
Unless you have it yourself, then you can say I run the field for it, right?
Well, yeah, I can demo my account. I can demo a demonstration on the back office, but it's not going to be relevant to the individual unless they actually own it themselves.
All right, gotcha.
Now, Chad, I mean, I think I like to ask this question with any product. Has there ever been someone that this product has not worked for?
Yes, that's
I'm
a good
talking.
question. Go ahead. I'm
I'm
sorry.
I'm talking about personal experience, not theoretical. Like, has this been like somebody that bought the product and then in like 90 days after buying purchasing, he said, "No, I don't want it. I want my money back," or something in that regard?
Well, okay, so I'm twofold to that question, that response. So first off, yes, there are people that it's not for. To answer that question, the people that are not willing to commit to the goal that they set forth for themselves to get out of debt.
Okay.
The reason why is because this program comes with a warranty. It says that as long as you actually do what it says,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to get where you're trying to go. If you decide to jump off that road and don't want to do what it says, you can't get them. If you do what it says and it doesn't get you where you're trying to go, they'll give you your money back. Basically what that means. But a lot of people jump off the ship. They say, okay, I want off. You can't just say I want off and get your money back. You
Okay.
have to actually commit to what it says in order for you to
How
be able
how
to say that it's not going to give you. But
how long do they need to commit for?
I'd say at least 6 months.
6 months. So
Yeah.
they have as much as 6 months to try it out, and then if it doesn't do what it promises it will do, and they follow the what the program is saying, if it doesn't do what it promises, then they can get their money back.
If for whatever reason it fails them, yes.
Yes.
But I'm letting you know now, it's not one of those type of systems that's going to fail them. Most
I
likely
understand.
the people that don't actually do well are the people that fail themselves. They just get off. They say, like I said before, people that do push-ups that first year, that first month. So yeah, that's what it normally happens. And I'm gonna tell you a personal reason for that. A lot of times, what I've realized is that individuals that are the mathematicians, they control the numbers themselves. They don't like to give up the control to the technology.
Gotcha.
And so
Okay.
they'll revert back to their own traditional ways of doing things and not use the program itself, which is a no-no because you don't get
Okay.
your money back if you do that, first off. And then secondly, if you were so good at what you were doing, why would you need the program?
Exactly.
So yeah,
But
that's what I've kind of seen in the field, what's been going on with some of those type of clients.
but that's a great guarantee. That's a great guarantee.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean that adds a lot of weight. I mean, I love that.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's one reason why I say again, to me, it's a no-brainer. Because it's going to get you there as long as you're committed to doing it, doing the work. And a lot of times, there are some individuals that are just not disciplined enough either. Not just the ones that lack the ability to give up control, but if you're not disciplined. So, you came on here, you told me your life story, you gave me your numbers, you said you're willing to do it, and then all of a sudden now you got distracted by the newest whatever on TV. And you're not thinking about putting your numbers in the program that week or weekend or something like that. Like it's like, what are we doing? And then if you made the decision and the investment to get going, it's like well, I can't help you because you're not trying to help yourself at that point. So
And would you say that those first 6 months is when like those new users need the most hand holding, or like this is when you like need to follow up with them?
yeah, because
And-
what I will say at the most part for a lot of people that are listening, I said 6 months. It's not really a number, but the reason why I said 6 months is because the first 3 months, you're getting used to the process. You may be
Okay.
calling support and you're working with support. After the third month, now you're kind of like, I got this. And then you
Okay.
start using it yourself in a way that fits or benefits you to the point to where here's another true story, testament. There was a couple that in the New York area got a hold of it, couldn't stand paying the bills. Wifey got the program, or was the reason why we got the program. And she was the one paying the bills because it was just he just gets the money, give it to her. So once they got into the process of going through the routine, um, she said she noticed a smile on his face when he got ready to start paying the bills because he felt comfortable so much so with the program now to where he looked forward to paying because of the program. And
Okay.
that was again after that, about that third month or so, because they got in habits of using the program. So these are the things again. Oh, and I'll say this too. A lot of people that we've come across couple wise have said we've helped them with their marriage because of the program. So it's a lot of win-wins in this situation with the program. Like I say, financial stress, marital, helping the marriage. So it's a lot of things that again I appreciate having access to this program to be able to, give to my clients. That comes in handy now.
So you would be targeting anybody, or like you would be recommending this for anybody who has any more than three credit lines open at any point in time.
Right, right.
Okay.
Or even if you had I'd say $10,000 or so in credit, you
That
know, yeah,
okay.
debt or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'll just exaggerate there a bit because I want to make sure what the limits are of. So if somebody's facing collections right now, going through foreclosure, or would that can that program still help them within like a 90-day period?
So my suggestion in that situation is we're not credit repair specialists.
Or not? Okay.
We Yes. So that's another thing I'll tell a lot of people like what we are and what we are not. So I've actually partnered with a couple of credit repair specialists, one to help get access to the program, two to actually know that there is a difference between what we do versus what they do.
Okay.
What we do basically is give them a software that's going to help them make those decisions for them financially. What credit repair people do is they fix those things that are on their profile that needs to help, them be able to have better outcomes when it comes to taking out, a loan or getting a mortgage, things like that. By default, getting the program will help them with their credit because it'll be making the payment instead of them now. But we're not credit repair specialists.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you ever recommend people going in and getting any other type kind of like credit lines that would be like a 0% interest for like a 15-month
Yeah,
billing
so
cycle?
that's one of the things we do. Say if you're going to go ahead and take out any debt, make sure you got to get the specials at 0%. It just helps you, all the way around and be able to let the program do its thing before you have to make that payment again. So, and then you can actually put in there and say, hey, 12 months to be able to go ahead and get it paid off before it's comes due. So that's another thing too that you can do as well. And then talk about future forecasting before you make a purchase like a RV or a home. You can put in a program that'll let you know if you're going to be out of money in a certain amount of time. So they'll let you know if it's a good or bad deal to take out. So that's another bonus too as well of having the program.
Now, Chad, I don't want to take everybody's time, but if I
Okay.
want to get in touch with you at any point in time, how do I go about doing that?
Yeah, so my QR code, did you take a screenshot of it?
No, I don't have my phone on me. Is there?
Okay. I'll put my information in the chat.
Perfect. Thanks, Chad.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Well, if there's none, thank you very much, Chad, and join us again for our next Southern Region call. That will be next month on the third Wednesday at 8 o'clock Central Time. So thank you so much, Chad, for helping us out today.
No problem. Thank you,
Good
guys.
night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.